Welcome to another Truck Alerts live stream. And of course, we are going live on Facebook, live on YouTube, and we are also live on Instagram. I hope you're hearing me, and I hope you'll be here with me to keep my company for the next half an hour as we look into the the Adidas Atlanta City Games that's coming up on this weekend, this Saturday. The Atlanta City Games is on this Saturday. What a lineup we have, and I'm trying to get that on the screen for you because it's going to be some stellar lineup. Noah Lyles will be Noah Lyles will be in action, and he is the main headliner, or he's the headliner. Noah Lyles ran the 150, 150 meters last year, and he will return to run the 150. We haven't seen much of Noah Lyles this year. Let me know if you're hearing me loud and clear. Let me know where you're tuning from. You know, drop your comment in the comment section so we can know and make sure that you are hearing me loud and clear. The men's 100 meter at the Adidas Atlanta City game will have Jamaicans Oblique Civil. He is the main or the top Jamaican sprinter now. We'll have Ford. Also from Jamaica, we'll have Golson and we'll have Daly. We haven't seen Daly in a little while, but Daly will be in that men's 100 at the Atlanta City game. The men's 200 will have Antonio Watson, and as you know, Antonio Watson is the world 400 meters champion. Javon Powell will also be in there along with Demish Gay and Brian Level. Brian Level just coming off a silver medal performance in the mixed 4x100 meter relay at the World Relays held in China. So Brian Level is in good shape, is in good form. So he will be in that one also. The women's 100-meter hurdles, considered to be the toughest event on track, in track and field. We'll have Megan Tapper, Akira Nugent, and Demisha Roswell, three Jamaicans. And of course, they will be going up against the world record holder, Toby Amison, and the former world record holder, Kenny Kendra Harrison. That event is, as I said, the toughest, maybe the toughest not maybe, but the toughest in track and field. Tia Jones, the American, is also there along with Grace Stark. And when you look at this lineup, this is an open field, open field. As usual, The 100-meter hurdles can be won by almost any athlete lining up when it comes on to a world or an Olympic final. That is how competitive this is. Which event are you looking forward to the most? Let me know in the comment section. What do you think about this event? It's not going to be on a regular track. It's not going to be in the in a regular stadium. It's going to be in the park at Piedmont Park in Atlanta. It happened there last year. The fans turn out. So we are looking forward to another exciting weekend of track and field. All in the game is saying there's supposed to be a straight 200-meter hurdles race, which I'm very curious about. I am still I'm trying to find that all in the game, but when I check the schedule earlier, I'm not seeing a straight 200. Maybe I am missing it. I don't know. I'm not sure. But let me just hop back over to the website and look. I'm seeing the men's 100, women's 100, women's 100-meter hurdles, men's 150, women's 150. Women's 150 has Jamaica's Ashanti Moore. She'll be going up against Tamara Davis, Daryl Nita, Favor Ofili, Kennedy Simon. Men's 200, we discussed that, or I spoke about that earlier. Women's 200, we'll have Nisha Berger of Jamaica, Tamara Clark, maybe the one to beat in that one from the United States. Men's long jump, we'll have Kiri McLeod and Nicolia Williams. Those two will represent Jamaica. Chantel Malone will be in the women's long jump, and the men's pole vault will also take center stage at Piedmont Park. Last year, Grant Holloway won the high hurdles. I'm still trying to find that men's high hurdles for this year, but there will also be youth in action, the middle schoolers, the high schoolers. They will they will also be in action, and so I'm seeing the 200-meter hurdles for men. I'm not seeing a start list for that event, and the professional finals will get underway at 3 p.m. So if you are close by, if you're in the area, maybe you want to hop over to the Piedmont Park in Atlanta to watch some good races that scheduled to be on track there. Listed all in the game is reminding us that yes, there will be a 200 meters. Favia Ofili, all in the game is telling us that Favia Ofili and Tamara Davis in the 150 will be a good battle between the two. That's, I agree, should be a good battle. This is a world championship year, so athletes are going to want to come out and put on a show. So we're looking forward to a very good weekend of track and field at Piedmont Park in Atlanta. Adidas Atlanta City Games will be on. Want to see Wade Van Niekerk run well in the 200. One of my favorite athletes of the modern era. Very good athlete. Sometimes you see Wade Van Niekerk, you'll think he's a Jamaican. He's always sporting his Jamaican jersey, a Jamaican football jersey. So it's going to be a good day. So, what can we look forward to? What performance you think is going to be the best performance? Who you think is going to be the standout athlete at the meet? The Atlanta City Games is on this Saturday. And of course, we can't be on here and don't talk a little bit about what happened over the weekend. The world relays in China. Jamaica only getting two medals, and only two teams qualified for the World Championships in Tokyo, Japan later this year. Was it a disappointment for the Jamaicans? Was it expected? What says you? Men's 4x1 after 2 rounds didn't get the baton around. Unfortunate. Kishane Thompson was left standing twice on that ankle leg. Was not able to get the baton any at all. What a disappointment for that team. But overall, did you think that Jamaica performed well, fair, bad? What what do you think? 2 medals, 2 world championship relay qualification. Did we have the team that we would have expected to give us more medals? I am not sure, because you see, even when you look at the women's 4x4 and you think, hey, this team, look on the members of the team, maybe come world championship, you may not have a single member of that world relay team that will make that Jamaica 4x4 team come world championships. The athletes on that team, I think, did their best. We had withdrawals, maybe 2 withdrawals at the last minute, and all in the game don't, you know, he's saying Jamaica perform, you know, woeful, just like last year in the Bahamas. The question many people have been asking, is it that the world is catching up? Or is it that we are just not hitting the mark again? But then again, when you look, I don't think, apart from the men's 4x1 that didn't get the baton around and the women's 4x1 that finished third, I don't think none of the other teams would even be 50% strong. You know, if you look on the athletes that made the 400 team last year and the men's 400 and women's 400, we really didn't have those athletes this year. And maybe because we didn't have those athletes this year, maybe our expectations were just too high, you know. Um, and that is why, for me, I am not disappointed. I am not surprised with the results because all these were expected. You know, all in the game is asking what happened to Cherokee Young and Candice McLeod. They are nowhere to be found. Kevona Davis, Lene Thomas, Kemba Nelson. Where are all these people? Well, I'm not sure if Cherokee Young is still in training. I haven't seen any race. I haven't seen where she touched a track this year. Candice McLeod, I'm not sure about her as well. Kevona Davis, I understand, is training somewhere in Maryland. Thomas, I'm not able to say. Kemba, I know, is still at elite, and maybe is not ready, and that's why she wasn't a part of the team. Because you see, all those persons who made it to China were the ones that made themselves available. So the J3s weren't able to do or weren't able to put a better team together because these were the persons who made themselves available. And you're not going to see the collegiate athletes this time because they are in competition and they are on scholarship and they are not pros. They are not professionals. So you're not going to see the collegiate athletes. I think the SEC championships, I think that's on this weekend. I think the junior college championships maybe on this weekend as well. So these events would be the main events are the first call of duty for these athletes. So they're going to pay attention or they're going to turn out there first. So you're not going to expect them to be representing their country this time. No, not this time. So, but as I said, World Relay is out of the way. What do we do next? What do we do to get the men's 4x1 qualified for the World Championships? What do we do to get the women's 4x4 and the 4x4 mixed relay team to qualify. That is where we are at now. Let me know if you have any suggestions. Last year, we saw what happened to the men's 4x4. They did not make it to the Paris Olympic Games. Will we go to the World Championships this year without the women's 4x4 or the women's or the mix 4x4? Maybe it's going to be a lot easier for the men to qualify for the 4x1. But that's not our main aim tonight. It's really about the Atlanta City Games, adidas Atlanta City Games. And all in the game is that World Athletics need to move the World Relays from its current early May to mid to late June, 1-2 weeks after NCAA, so that the college athletes from smaller countries are free to, you know, represent their country. If you move the relays to first to second week, so the NCAA championships would normally be about the second week to the middle of May, the latest. Second week to the middle of May. My apology. The second week of June. So between the second week of June to the middle of June, that's when you would normally have the NCAA's championship. Jamaica trials, the national senior team trials, would normally be the final weekend of June. So most times NCAA is 2 weeks before the national senior trials. So this will create a problem. So there wouldn't be any window after NCAA's and Jamaica trials for the World Relays to fit in. That's going to be very, very tough. In terms of adding more prize money to the World Relays, I'm not sure, by using them to qualify the top 9 teams in each relay for straight finals only at that year World Championship. Some of the rules or some of the guidelines set out by World Athletics, especially when it comes on to the relays, I'm not in agreement with. And I don't know what they will do or how much they will to change things up. For example, the women's, not the women's, but the mix 4x1 or the mix 4x4. World Athletics is going to tell you, or World Athletics stipulates that this is the leg, or these legs will have to be run by the male and these legs by the female. I'm not in agreement with it. I think athletes or teams should be allowed to put their athletes wherever they want to put their athletes. I just think teams should be able to put their athletes where they want to put their athletes. And that would create more fun for teams to set up their relay team the way they want them. So, for example, you may have the first leg female against male. So you don't know what my lineup is going to be. I don't know what your lineup is going to be. And that in itself, to me, would be more fun, you know. Well, all in the game, I was really referring to what is standard when it comes on to the Jamaica trials. And most times you're going to have world championships or the Olympics between July and August. Occasionally you'll have it in September, like we're having it this year. So what's going to happen when you have a world championships in July? You know, it means you have no other option than you have your national trials in June. Even though the world championships is in September, the last date we got for the Jamaica trials is still the final weekend in June. We heard it maybe change. We're not sure yet. We're still waiting on the J Trace to give an update as to if that will happen. Should it happen? Should there be a change? Yes, I believe there should be a change. Because the fact that World Championships is not going to be until September, I think the J Trace has enough time and space to move the trials from its regular end of June to somewhere in July. And over the years, what we normally have is that the Jamaica trials will always be on the same weekend as the US trials. And this has been happening long before Jamaica was considered to be a force in track and field. And the circuit would normally close for the US trials to facilitate the US trials. And because then US used to be the dominant force, and Jamaica was able to piggyback on the US dates because they know that the circuit is going to be closed at that time. Why has that not happened for this year? I don't know. Now that the trials is set for the end of June or the final weekend of June, which is the same weekend for the last Grand Slam track event in LA, trouble is in the camp. There's trouble for the powers that be and the athletes. Civil is a part of the Grand Prix. Civil is a part of Grand Slam. Roshan Clark is a part of the Grand Slam. We see Akira Nugent. We see Danielle Williams a part of the Grand Slam. Rochelle Clayton, she didn't run the last one, but because she was hurt, but she's a racer in the Grand Slam. So, and the Grand Slam is paying big bucks. And we would not want our athletes to leave this big paying meet or leaving a big paying payday. You know, Stacey and Williams is a part of the Grand Slam. You know, Cheyenne Salmon, you know. So there are quite a few Jamaicans who are part of the Grand Slam. So I think it would just be wise to really shift trials a little bit, you know, take it a little bit in to match the US trials in July. US trials is the final week of July. And I think that's what we need to look into seriously. You know, you don't want to stop your athletes from making some good money. If you finish eighth in your race group, it's 10 grand. And all our athletes so far after two Grand Slam, they are getting more than 10 grand at at the least. Daniel Williams won in Kingston. Akira Nugent won Miami. Who is going to win Philly? They'll be both in Philly. Daniel Williams didn't participate in Miami because of Diamond League obligations. But let's hope things will happen where the athletes will be happy and the J Trays will be happy at the end of the day. That's all I have for tonight. It's already 31 minutes, and our show would normally don't go more than 30 minutes. Until next time, take care. And we'll see you.
Stay connected with Track Alerts TV by clicking that subscribe button and hitting the notification bell. You'll never miss a moment when we go live, and you'll always be the first to know when we post new and exciting content. But that's not all. Folks, show us some love by liking, commenting, and sharing our videos. Join our community of passionate sports enthusiasts, and let's support our favorite athletes together. So what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button and become a part of the Track Alerts TV family today. It's time to take your love for track and field to the next level with the ultimate athletics experience.
Want reach? Advertise with trackalerts.com. More people are becoming satisfied advertisers building their brand online. We know it from start to finish. Trackalerts.com on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Contact us today at info@trackalerts.com or 876-893-4157.
Keep apace with the latest track and field news from Jamaica, across the Caribbean, and around the world. It's trackalerts.com. There is just no other. Up-to-the-minute details, expert views, reviews, and interviews in photos, videos, and features. Track Alerts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Track Alerts TV on YouTube. Trackalerts.com. From start to finish.
Advertise on our live streaming on Track Alert's social media pages, which provides the most prominent online viewership from track and field meets in Jamaica. Your products will be seen by our large audience in Jamaica, the diaspora, and across the world. Book your spot in our live stream for a very small introductory fee. Call or text us at 876-893-4157 or email anthonyfoss@gmail.com. Trackalerts.com from start to finish.
10.29 seconds for Johan Blake. An impressive run.
Hosting a function or event? Want it to be streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, or Zoom? iView 365 can help you. We specialize in sporting events, stage shows, funerals, concerts, conferences, church services, graduations, and many more. Call or text us at 876-893-4157 or email anthonyfoss@gmail.com. That's ANTHONYFOS@gmail.com. Stay connected with Track Alerts TV by clicking that subscribe button and hitting the notification bell. You'll never miss a moment when we go live, and you'll always be the first to know when we post new and exciting content. But that's not all. Folks, show us some love by liking, commenting, and sharing our videos. Join our community of passionate sports enthusiasts, and let's support our favorite athletes together. So what are you waiting for? Click that subscribe button and become a part of the Track Alerts TV family today. It's time to take your love for track and field to the next level with the ultimate athletics experience.
Want reach? Advertise with trackalerts.com. More people are becoming satisfied advertisers building their brand online. We know it from start to finish. Trackalerts.com on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Contact us today at info@trackalerts.com or 876-893-4157.
Keep apace with the latest track and field news from Jamaica, across the Caribbean, and around the world. It's trackalerts.com. There is just no other. Up-to-the-minute details, expert views, reviews, and interviews in photos, videos, and features. Track Alerts on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Track Alerts TV on YouTube.